Good afternoon. So in the previous topics, we have seen different kind of regression methods, different linear models also, how the linear model actually behaves, how they generate the result, that also we have seen. Now, one more technique is there, which is used to build a linear model, which is the regression technique actually. It's called a least square method, least square regression basically. So least square regression method is technique which is commonly used in the regression analysis. It's a mathematical method used to find the best fit line that represent the relationship between independent and dependent variable. Just like linear regression we have seen, we are already having ordinal data. When you plotted it, you get that scatter plot, and by using linear regression, we draw or we identify the ideal values of slope and intercept, and based on that, the line of best fit is calculated. So least square method is also one of the way by which the line of best fit in the linear model can be calculated. To understand that least square, now let's get familiar with the concept which are required to identify the line of best fit here. What do you mean by line of best fit? So line of best fit drawn to represent the relationship between two or more variables. Generally, we consider two variables, one variable on x-axis and another variable on y-axis. So how they are interlinked together, that we will see. So to be more specific, the best fit line is drawn across the scatter plot of data point in order to represent the relationship between those data points. Exactly. That will be the summary of all. That will be summarizing or will be at the center of all the points where least amount of error is present, where the error is very less. Fine. So that line is identified. But to identify that line, two factors we need to know. That is the what can be the slope of this line and where the y-intercept is present, like that. So regression analysis makes use of a mathematical method such as least square to obtain the definite relationship between the predictor variable and the target variable, that is input variable and the output variable here. Maybe input variables are multiple, that's also possible, or we'll be having single variables. In both the cases, the line of best fit can be calculated. So in this method, this is one of the most effective way to draw the line of best fit. That is, it's equivalent to linear regression, but the technique that they used to follow here is something different. That we will see statistically also and practically also how these operations are done. It's based on the idea that squares of errors, see, the squares of error obtained must be minimized to the most possible extent. Minimum amount of error should be there to the most possible extent, and hence the name we call as least square method. With least amount of error, means actually squared errors are calculated. Square errors, why? Because in regression analysis also we have seen about the same, that errors can be negative, can be positive, but error is error. There's a difference between the predicted value and actual value. So to make it positive, we make it square, and accordingly the error will be identified, the square or absolute. Any one of this method is there. Here they are using the square method. So by using the root mean squared error or R square score, that is R2 score, can also be used, and with the help of that, the accuracy of line of best fit or ordinary least square regression can be identified. So let's see this. Yeah, this is how the ordinary least square will actually work. We'll see graphically, we'll see statistically also. Now see, if we were to plot the best fit line, that shows the depict the sales of a company over the period of time, it will actually like something. For example, I'm having a time parameter as the input. Time is your input and price is your output. Actual price which is shown and which is there on the y-axis here. So you can see according to the time the price is increasing here, and the red line, which is the line of best fit, which is the predicted price are there, which is the averaging line of all the points which you have plotted over here. So we'll notice that the line is close to possible to all the scattered data points, and this is what ideal baseline will look like. Okay, this is what the application. So in linear regression also we are told about the same. So this method is used here also, but the technique to identify this particular line of best fit is something different. Now see this. So let's see how X errors are calculated. We have seen this error, but how least square regression find the errors? Yes. Now see here, we can identify these are the ordinal data points which are shown in the green dots here, and the distance of this particular green dot from the center of the line is like D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7, D8, D9, all are mentioned over here. Okay, so blue is the predicted line, means which is averaging line basically, and its position, that is its slope and intercept, are such like that it is having least amount of error. So value of d, okay, d is like d square, d1 square plus d2 square plus d3, d4, d5, like all, an addition of all. We got the error, squared error, distance of the particular point from the center of the line. That is what error we have. It's squared, and then we have added it. We have seen that mean squared error. So this is actually some squared error is there. Some squared error means you have squared that and then you have summed up together. It's called a sum squared, SSE. Mean squared error divided by total number of element, 9. And root mean squared error divided by 9 and square root of it. Fine. This is what root mean square. So multiple different parameters of regression analysis also we have seen last time. Now here the D, so line is placed at such position where the D is having very smallest value, as smallest possible value of the D is there. This is what we call as the error, and the least square idea is used. Means least square, why it's called a least square? Because the line of best fit will be like this, where least amount of squared error is present. That's why it's called a least square regression. Now this model is based on the same idea of line here, like y is equal to mx plus c, as we have seen for linear regression. The same formula is used here to calculate or to draw the line of best fit. But how exactly it processes, that we will see. To start constructing a line that best depicts the relationship between variable in the data, we first need to get our basics right. So we know the equation y is equal to mx plus c. Let's revise it, what exactly the formula means. So surely we have come across the equation before. Obviously we have seen that already. It's a simple equation that represents a straight line along two-dimensional data, that is on x-axis and y-axis. To better understand this, let's break down the equation. So we know y is the outcome variable, output variable, which is the dependent variable. Perfect. X is the independent variable, which is the input variable. M is the slope of the line, and C is the y-intercept. So wherever the line is intercepting to the y-axis, that position is called as y-intercept, that is C. Fine. So with this, the relationship between x and y, relationship between x and y, linear relationship between x and y can be modeled. Okay, so this method is used over here. Now, to calculate the line of best fit, there are 4 steps are there which are followed to perform this operation to calculate the line of best fit. So let's calculate the slope m first by using the formula. As you can see, the formula is mentioned over here. By using this formula, we are calculating the slope of the line, that is m. So m is equal to n into n is total number of element into summation of x into y. Summation of x into y. So we have to multiply all x and y together and then add all them together, that is summation of x into y, minus summation of x into summation of y. Okay, summation of x into summation of y. So this is your numerator, and denominator will have n into ex square. Okay, x is your input variable, the square, and then sum together, minus summation of all x and their square, like all. So this method that we have followed here, this is the formula to find the slope of the line. Whatever x and y parameter that you have passed, based on that the slope is calculated. This is the formula by which the slope of that line will be calculated. Now step number 2. Using this, we are going to make use of the formula to find the value of y-intercept. So compute the y-intercept, the value of y at the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Correct. When you draw this line, when it crosses the y-axis, at that position, the y-intercept is present. Okay, it will be crossing somewhere because it's a linear regression. So if it is not crossing, so that will be infinity. Remember, if it is exact vertical line is created, but it's not the case. We know that the line can be either having positive slope or negative slope, but it will intercept somewhere on the y-axis. So C is equal to y minus mx. Correct. So you just have I have taken location different here, y on this side and C on this side. So everyone will become y will become negative, mx is positive, and c will become negative. So I change the sign of all. C has become positive, y has become positive, and mx has become negative, like this. So using this formula, we are calculating the value of intercept. Then step number 3, substitute the values in the final equation, that is y is equal to mx plus c. We got the values. We know m, we have calculated m, we calculated c, and we know x already. And we know the y value. Y is, okay, that's not required. X is also known. And we'll substitute it, these values, and then our model will be created. But our model is created itself in the step number 1 and 2, because the main important part is to identify the value of slope and the intercept. Slope and the intercept. So only slope formula is the intercept is calculated by using the same linear equation function. There is nothing different inside it. So c will be calculated, and then we'll substitute y is equal to mx plus c. Let's take an example. Now, these 3 steps I mentioned. After that, we can use that 4th step as a predictive analytics. So once the value of m and c are calculated, so we can use that to do the predictive analytics side. I'll show that one practically also how it is possible to do. Now, let's take an example. Consider an example. Tom, who is the owner of retail shop, found the price of different t-shirts versus the number of t-shirts sold at his shop over the period of 1 week. Fine. So you can check it the data. Here we have defined the input output variables. So also the price of t-shirts in dollars. They are mentioned 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Correct. And the total number of t-shirts sold, that is your output variable. It is 4, 5, 7, 10, 15, like all. So we can identify that the input and outcome variables. Okay. Input variable is your x, that is number of price of t-shirt in dollars, and number of t-shirts sold, that is your y variable. So input and output, they are mentioned over this. So using this idea, we are going to build the OLS regression. So you can check 2, 4, 3, 5, 5, 7, 7, 10, and 9, 15. Looking at the data, we can identify that these 2 data set, data input and output, are linearly connected to each other. Correct. They are linearly connected. So in such cases, the linear models of statistical models can be applied. So we'll be applying the OLS now. Let's go step by step. See, let us use the concept of least square regression to find the line of best fit for this particular data. Step 1, calculate the slope m by using the following formula. You can see step 1 is equal to calculate slope m by m is equal to whatever n summation of xy minus summation of x into summation of y divided by n into summation of x square minus summation of x all square. Fine. And after substituting all the values which I have mentioned in the previous slide, I am getting the value of m is 1.518. Okay, so the data set that I am having, that I have shown in the previous slide, when I use that one, so using that particular data set, will be calculating the value of m. Okay, calculating the value of slope over here. That's what we got, 1.518. Correct. Now let's continue. Step number 2. Compute the y-intercept, that is c is equal to y minus mx. That's what we'll get now. We are having the value of y minus mx. So after we substitute the respective values, we'll get a c is equal to 0.305. 0.305 approximately, because the precision is very large. I just put it in 3 decimal positions format only. Fine. C is calculated. And then finally, we'll substitute these values in the final equation. Y is equal to mx plus c. And now see this one. Once you substitute the values, it should look like something. Check this out. For every element of x and y, I have calculated the y is equal to mx plus c. Okay. And everywhere I got the error, means exactly that error, what we call this error is like that distance between actual value and the predicted by the algorithm's values. That's what the error is. We have seen that error last time also. So once you substitute the values, it should look something like this. So we are having this table already, this one. Okay. And then we got this value y is equal to mx plus c. Okay. So by putting the value of m and c into it, then I'll get this. I will get this. Now, what is the expected value? 4. And by calculating the value of m and c, I form this equation. So I got the error 0.67. Okay, so I got this error 0.67, like it. Now second case, 5 4.9, 0.14 is the error. 7 7.9, 0.89 is the error. 10 expected, predicted 10.9, 0.93 is the error. And 15 expected, predicted 13.9, so 1.03 is the error in it. Okay, so with that precision, I have put these values together here with the help of the formulas which we have seen, and working on the actual data set which is shown to you into the tabular format. Fine. Then now this is what line of best fit is. So predicting, let's construct a graph that represent the y is equal to mx plus c line of best fit. You can see this one. This is the actual data input. Here we have output, and I got the original point like which are shown in the blue dots in the scatter plot format, and the line which is drawn here at the center at the averaging of all is calculated by using this m and c. Now, okay, what exactly Tom was doing? So Tom's data set is that. So Tom can use the above equation to estimate the how many t-shirt of price $8 can he sell in the retail shop. Okay, so mx. So what is the value of m now? Sorry, what's the value of x now? 8 into m, that is 1.5 here, plus c, that is 0.305. We got 12.45. Okay, if you round it, they'll get him 12. At $8, 10, 12 t-shirts will be there as per this formula mentioned over here. And now we can identify the R square error also, just like we have seen how to calculate the R square error, R square score also. That will show the actual accuracy of the algorithm. So for any linear model, the same methodology of regression analysis is applied by using MAE, MSE, RMSE or R square error. This method can be applied and we can identify the error present inside this data or present inside this data for the given model, the linear regression, linear model basically that we can identify. Okay, so let's summarize what exactly the OLS means, ordinal least square means. The least square regression method works by minimizing the sum of square of errors as small as possible, hence the name least squares. Basically, the distance between the line of best fit and the error must be minimized as much as possible. So that's what the main aim of the least square regression. Few things to keep in mind before implementing the least squares regression method. That is, data must be free of outliers because they might lead to bias or wrongful line of best fit. Okay, remember, outliers should not be there. If outliers are added, the complete deviation of the line will change. Okay, there is one more method presently linear model this is now available, ransack regression. Ransack regression. That ransack regression is used to avoid the problem of outliers. Okay, it's a special technique. Recently it is developed. Okay, the line of best fit can be drawn iteratively until you get a line with minimum possible squares of error. So the technique which is followed here, statistical technique which is followed here, it is actually focusing on reducing the errors present on that. Okay, so squares of errors. This method works well when the nonlinear data, even with the longest. If data is nonlinear, then also obviously data you can draw a line, but the problem is that accuracy or the accuracy will be less, or the difference between actual value and predicted value will be higher in that case. Fine. Technically, the difference between actual value of y and the predicted value of y is called as residual error. Okay, residual error, the difference, the error which is present already in the data set based on the model. Okay, there's error present and that is called as the residual error. So just like linear regression, OLS also same, but even the analysis can also be same. The advantages are also similar are there, but the technique that they follow, they are something different here. Okay, so it's called as least square regression method, which is coming under the linear model. Okay, so before proceeding, I'll just show you how to perform these things practically here. Just a minute. It's very easy to do. There's no any special class present there. Means just like linear regression class we have seen. There is no any special class something present there. We are directly can create this from the scratch. It's not that much difficult to do. Just take a look of it. See, a small code I have created. So in that we can identify how exactly the least square regression, the technique which I have shown theoretically and just implemented practically here. So you can check it out. So just a minute, see this. Now, for this data, for this application to execute, I got a data set called as headbrain.csv. This one, headbrain.csv. So what it contains, I'll just reading it, and you can see this 237 rows and 4 columns are present in it. And if you just check what exactly it contains, see, it contains the information about different kind of persons. Okay, gender, age range, and its head size and brain weight is mentioned. Size of the head and weight of the brain. Size of the head in centimeter cube. Okay, and brain weight is in grams. Weight of the brain in grams is mentioned there. Now we can identify that the head size and brain weight can be linearly connected together. They can be linearly connected. See, you can 237 different entries are there. 237 different people's information is gathered. You can see this one. I just read of 20. You can see this. Take it. Fine. Check it. Okay, and we'll check it whether they are linearly connected or not. Okay, so for that purpose, what I have done, I have extracted the values from the head size, means head size input variable, that is your x, and brain weight is output variable. Okay, that is y. Okay, that's why that's how I have separated here, and based on that we are going to build the regression model. So before that, okay, before that, let's see this one. What exactly the data is present here. So you can just plot it. If you plot x against y, see this. Yeah, this is the original data, and you can observe that is that though there's a scattered data present there, scattered data is there, but linearity is present in this data set. Total 237 entries, and there's a linearity, means there's a proportionality present also. And if you just check the Pearson correlation coefficient, whether linearly connected or not, that also we can find. So you can make use of, okay, np dot COR or coefficient of x against y. So you can see 79% connectivity is there. 17, almost 80%, 79.95 something like that. That connectivity is present in between them. So scattered data is there. So accuracy is not that much, above or on average 80% accuracy we can achieve from the same. But data is linear, that we can identify by this. If data is getting more close, so I just want to draw a line of best fit with least square regression method. The technique which I have shown, that we'll apply now. Let's see this one. So I calculated the mean of x and mean of y, and then I got the total number of element. Okay, length of x. So if you just check it, how many number of element are present there, so you can print this value of n and child 237 rows. So 237 elements are present there in it. And now let's calculate the value of m and c. Now see this, the formula, that's what we have mentioned. Using that, I'm calculating the value of it. See, why this means are calculated, because at the end I need to use this. When you calculate the c is equal to y minus mx. So their means are there. Mean we are getting, y is the mean of it, x is the mean of it, because 237 values are there. So all of their mean we require, and that's what we have added here for the y and x. Okay, now see, according to the formula, I just have created this particular for loop. Numerator, denominator, two variables I have created. They are just put 0 there. For I in range n, means 237 number of time to start. First row, second, third, fourth, like all. And here is your formula, x minus Okay, so mean of x into y minus y of x. This value we got in the numerator, but I'm adding it. First add, second, third, fourth, fifth, for all the element. These values will be added together, and then numerator means summation of this element is done. That is what we got the above value, numerator. And for denominator, again same, I'm having the square of them. I'm having the squares of we got. Okay, the formula that we know about the calculation of the m. So their numerator is calculated, denominator is calculated, and then we got the value of m, and using the value of m we'll calculate the value of c. Now see, minus mx, and x is the average value of all the x that we have calculated, and we got this. So the formula which I mentioned is step number 1 and step number 2. I just connected to Python programming language, and I got this value of m and c over here. And let's see these values. We check it out. The value of m is 0.263, okay, which is a multiplication factor, and value of c is 325.57, which is the addition factor. We are going to add that value over there. Fine. So this method that we have calculated with this m and c are calculated. So this m and c will represent the line of best fit. The line of best fit. Remember that. Okay. And now let's draw this particular line. So I just need to draw this line. Ah,
Why
yes.
do you have the MNC variable in the for loop?
M and c variable.
In the for loop,
Huh?
we could also keep them outside the for loop, no? Because MNC would have
Uh,
vast value.
no, no, just a thing, just a minute. Huh? M and C, every time. Correct, correct, correct. Exactly, exactly. Out of the loop also, because every time the value is getting changed, I need the final value only. Correct, exactly. I need a final value only. Yes, because for loop is the denominator, and then we are forming the division, and then you got m, and then exactly, it's correct. Good. Let's continue. Now, I'm going to plot Okay, sorry for the interrupt. Okay, see, so the difference between both is same here. Sorry, there is no any difference in that. Most of the time when you use the gradient descent regression, there's one more technique, linear model is there, that we will see in the upcoming sessions. So there we got some deviations. Here almost similar kind of lines that we are getting over here. See, the line has